And so do you want to, that it's kind of a nice segue into some unfortunate news that I have here.
Not again.
We try to bring, Second Amendment noteworthy news to our audience. Yeah, I don't like that. This came out on Tuesday. Following the surge in hate and bias crimes, Governor Hochul deploys all available state resources to protect New Yorkers in at-risk communities. And on
What
college
does she
campuses.
mean by
Because
that?
who does a better job of solving all your problems and protecting you than the government?
I feel
They've always been there.
You don't feel safe?
They've got my back.
I feel so safe that they will be able to document the scene afterwards. Like, they're very good after the thing happens of, like, showing up and, taking notes and taking photographs. My top priority, this is a quote from the governor, my top priority is to protect the safety and well-being of all New Yorkers. So instead of allowing us to take care of ourselves, like grown adults,
she's going to tell us how to do it.
Restricts that right. She makes it as hard as possible to protect yourself, making you reliant on the government. That's literally like mafia racketeering, like tactics.
Get the fuck back in your fucking hole now!
It's insane. So I don't know how, through executive order, or there's a bunch of grants, like $50 million going to local law enforcement to prevent and solve hate crimes, $25 million securing communities against hate crimes for houses of worships, community centers, and other at-risk sites. The scary part of this, $700,000 this year is going, an additional, beyond what they already get, an additional $700,000 is going towards enhancing the social media analysis unit of the state police.
Oh,
isn't that nice?
Look at that.
So
they got fact
will
checkers.
have a team.
How cool is that?
They will have a team of analysts performing daily live analysis of publicly available social media activity, particularly that which pertains to school violence threats, gang activity, and illegal firearms. So you can bet your butt they're watching the stream. Maybe.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Me too.
I'm doing my part too.
You got hung up on by Nick's operator. You want to talk about that?
Started.
Let's start. Take another sip. Take another sip, and then
Take a shot.
get into it, baby boy.
So, last night we're running a background check. Usually we close at 7. I tell you to come in before 6:30 because people want to run background checks a half hour before we close, and it takes a long time. I came in at like 6, did a background check, totally fine, totally cool. He goes from pending to delay to under review. And I had heard a little rumor that if you are under review, you can call and just be like, hey, just want to know why I'm being reviewed, and they'll push it through. I call. First of all, the phone system was awful and choppy and sounded like it was broken. I finally get somebody, and I explain, like, hey, this guy's been under review for a half hour. I just want to see if I can push it through. The guy goes, we get them and we push them through in the order they're obtained. And I'm like, oh, so, like, there's no way we can push this through? And he's like, nope. And I go to say, can I have your operator number? Beep, beep.
He just hung up.
He just hung up on me.
Oh.
Didn't even finish the question, but he hung up on me.
I bet it was 308. He's a jerk.
Or 331.
We know you're watching. 308.
I have heard other dealers, they have started recording when they call, which is totally legal. New York is a one-party
100%.
consent state. I mean, every time you call someone, they say this call could be recorded or monitored for,
For
whatever.
educational purposes.
Right, of course. So I know dealers that have started to record because they are convinced that those numbers don't mean anything. Like one day, hey, this is operator 308. And the next day it's like, hey, this is operator 308. And then the next day it's a woman. Or you know what I mean? Right. Like there's no... I think every morning they're picking those numbers out of a hat, and there's no accountability over there. That's messed up. That's absolutely messed up.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part.
Speaking of doing their part, the federal government doesn't want our gun companies exporting anything anymore. Well, only to certain countries.
Unless you're like Raytheon or Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, well,
then you can export whatever you want. Yeah.
Whatever you want. If you're on the good list of countries like Ukraine and Israel, you can get whatever you want. But if you're from Guatemala, Brazil, or Thailand, you can't get anything. I mean, I would think Taiwan or
Thailand, huh?
I guess not Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan would be the one that would want everything.
Yeah.
You mean
But
true China?
So Biden somehow can tell the Commerce Department, like, just make these changes, and they have to,
And it
or whatever,
happens.
right? So another thing that I saw here, what they're doing, so they have a 90-day pause on exporting, and apparently the Commerce Department can't do anything with the gun industry for the next 90 days, which just so happens to line up with SHOT Show, which is in the end of January.
Oh.
So they're like
Interesting.
blocking, and the Commerce Department, I mean, they go to adult film industry banquets because it's commerce. Like, their job, it's like the Chamber of Commerce, right, at the federal level. Like, their job is just to encourage industry. They don't care what it is. Porno movies, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, like, it doesn't matter. It's legal, it's licensed, whatever, let's do it.